Welcome to the Rock Bottom Podcast, your source for movie reviews, game reviews, music, and more. And now it's time to hit Rock Bottom.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Rock Bottom Podcast. Brandon and I are being graciously joined by an awesome guest today. He is a singer, he's a songwriter, he's a writer, director, actor. Thomas, did I miss anything besides those?
No, that's it, I think.
What about sexy?
Hopefully. I guess producer.
Oh, yeah.
And professional cone spotter.
Awesome. How is that going anyway?
It's going well.
So we are joined by Thomas Ian Nicholas. You probably know him as Kevin on the American Pie franchise. How the hell are you, man?
I'm good, man. It's nice to talk with you again.
Yeah.
Thanks for wanting to talk with me again.
I thought you were cool enough to talk to more than once, so.
Fair enough.
All right. So, what have you been up to since the release of American Reunion in theaters?
I have been. Well, we went on a crazy press tour that I just got back from, where Universal flew us around to do interviews in Amsterdam, Zurich, Berlin, and London.
Nice.
There's other cities. They kind of split the cast up, so we divided and conquered the world.
So who did you travel with?
I was mainly with Eddie K. Thomas,
okay.
Sean William Scott, Tara Reid, and the directors, John and Hayden.
Nice.
And, yeah, it was fun. And then, other than that, I've just been playing shows with my band. I've got a song on the soundtrack album of American Reunion.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a big tour on the Gibson Guitar Tour Bus to colleges around the country. That was back in February for like 3.5 weeks. And then, I tried to play shows whenever I was going overseas for press for the movie, so I got to play my first show in London. And,
oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been crazy, man. It's been great. I also, in and amongst finishing the filming of the movie and when it came out, I became a dad. So my son is now 6 months old.
Wow. Nice. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. So just a few things,
Nice.
Trying to stay busy.
I'm having my...
Not much. Conquer the world. Have a child.
No biggie.
Yeah, just another day at the office.
I'm actually having my third in about 3 weeks.
Oh, right on, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, things are changing, I would say, definitely.
You always try to have a kid every time we do an interview?
That's true. Oh, yeah, let's not do any more interviews, by the way.
Okay, so this is our third and final interview.
Yeah. Last time we're going to talk right here.
All right. Well, it's a good to go out with a three-peat. Sort of our own franchise of interviews.
There you go.
Maybe in 13 years we'll do a reunion interview
for a grandkid.
Yes.
All right. So Brandon and I both saw American Reunion, and I was actually blown away. I was truly surprised because, to be honest, I can be honest with you. We've talked several times, email and talking. I didn't really care for American Wedding that much.
Nor did I.
So I was so happy to see it.
Glad to hear this.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm glad you're being honest about it too, because a lot of people, even though it's been years, wouldn't be honest about it.
No, I thought that that American Reunion was more of a sequel to the first American Pie than even American Pie 2.
Yeah.
It just made more sense, as a follow-up movie.
Yeah.
American Wedding, the way that it was directed, and I think we even talked about this.
I think we
even the last time we spoke, that it was just approached like its own movie, like introducing you to characters as opposed to a true sequel where you're, catching up with characters you already know.
Yeah.
John and Hayden, the director-writers of American Reunion, as they did Harold and Kumar, all the Harold and Kumar movies. They always describe it as American Wedding is where Stifler becomes psychotic.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I mean, he's a great character and all, but pretty much he became the lead, I thought, in American Wedding.
Right. Well, not only that, but he also was like to the point of ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was like the most outlandish he'd ever been.
Yeah, over the top, way over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome to hear that coming from you for, being in the movie. So, let's talk a little bit about American Reunion. What did you think when they approached you about making another movie?
When I first, heard rumors that this might be something that we were going to do, I thought that it would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it'd be fun to get back together with everybody, and provided that we, did our best to make a movie that didn't suck. I also thought it was going to be hard to get everyone back together with all our schedules being so busy, and
mm-hmm.
Everyone seeing so much success after the first film. And I think one of the most comforting moments was when I first met with John and Hayden, and they basically were like, "Look, we're huge fans of the first movie, and we want to put the same heart in American Reunion as American Pie 1 has."
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I was like, okay, we're in good hands. We've got, the directors that are steering the ship have the same exact thoughts that I do. So I knew no matter what, I didn't know that it was going to be as good as it is, but I thought no matter what, we're going to, put our best foot forward and make something that's decent. And then I was even more surprised when I saw the finished product.
Yeah, you definitely redeem yourself after a wedding. I love how there's a Harold and Kumar connection, because I think John Cho's cameo is one of the best in the movie.
Well, that's the best part is they go, "We loved American Pie so much we made a day player our lead." And I think Eddie K. Thomas was in all of them as well. So,
Yep. Yeah, I bet you it was really nostalgic for you to get back on there, see some of the same actors that weren't necessarily in the second one, that were in the first one, and see all the sets again. I'm sure it's not the same sets; they had to rebuild them. But how cool was that, just coming back and to revisit the first movie?
Well, the craziest thing about the set building is we had shot the first film at actual locations.
Oh, nice.
So even though it was like set dressing, they rebuilt places that exist in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a trip to be in Atlanta, sitting in the interior, on a set that looks exactly like some home in, Altadena, house. So that was a trip, and I even found out from Jason that the plaid wallpaper in his room, after the first movie, the company that made that plaid wallpaper started marketing it as American Pie Plaid.
Nice.
So, we created American Pie Plaid. We created, the term MILF.
True.
We're responsible for the filing of baked goods. There's a lot of things that we can be held accountable for.
Oh man. All right, so let's get to know some of your cast members. We already know them and all, but let's get to know them as real people. Let's do the word game. Like, think of one word that comes to mind when I say Jason Biggs.
Dick.
Is it because you get to see it this time around, or because he just is a dick?
You'd have to know Jason to really understand that, but he really is a dick. But like the nicest dick.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
You'll ever meet. He's our Stifler.
Oh, okay.
That's amazing. I never would have guessed that.
No, me either. I would assume
if
that.
If you don't believe me, read his Twitter page.
Yep. All right, let's go to Sean William Scott. What comes to mind?
Absolute opposite.
A vagina.
No, not opposite of Jason Biggs. Opposite of the character.
Yeah.
Like, just overtly nice. Like, the nicest guy. Not like as we see him on screen.
And Chris Klein.
Dude. That's my description. Dude.
And he got really buff for this movie too, or not for the movie itself, but he got pretty big since the last time I saw him.
He was always yoked, but this is the first time that anyone really saw him, like, essentially tear his shirt off and get oiled up for it
in front of Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, I wonder how that all went down. I wasn't there on set that day.
I'm sure he has some bodyguards.
But Neil is married, so
Yeah.
I'm sure he kept his cool.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yep.
And Eddie K. Thomas.
Chill.
Nice.
He's like the guy I usually end up hanging out with the most on set, or when we're doing like the press tours and stuff.
Okay. What sort of stuff would all you guys do as a bunch, while you're not shooting?
Well, a few of us, not referring to me, but a few of us don't really party anymore or go out to bars. So it would pretty much just be Jason, Eddie, and myself that would kind of get into trouble on the weekends. Being respectful of our friends that don't drink anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting old, man. I'm the same age as you. We're getting old.
Well, there are plenty of people that are older than us.
Yeah, true.
Still get their drink on. Maybe they shouldn't.
Yeah. If you can do it, go ahead. By all means. But me, I got a family.
Well, if you can do it recreationally, then
exactly.
Yes, by all means.
Exactly. So yeah, speaking of, since we actually are the same age, I'm exactly almost 2 months older than you, which means you would have had your high school reunion, what was it, like 4 years ago? I don't know. Did you actually go to your actual high school reunion?
No, I didn't really have one because I've been because I've been acting since I was 6. By the time I got to high school,
I see.
I pretty much wasn't going to regular school anymore. My high school reunion would be a bit odd because you have to invite everyone from all the movies I worked on from 1994 to 1998.
That would be
so therefore, because I shot American Pie in '98, this was my high school reunion.
Oh, okay, that's true. All right.
that way for a lot of you. I mean, it was more of a reunion for the entire cast and for the characters. It was really impressive.
Oh, for sure. And it made us all realize that while we might be mature and responsible people in our own lives, when we're together, we are not.
Now, do you have a favorite scene in American Reunion? Either it has to do with you or nothing at all. Do you have a favorite scene?
My favorite scene was they gave me a little bit more. I had an opportunity to have more interaction with Sean's character in this film, which, as sort of like the straight guy in the comedy group, it's my responsibility to play the straight and narrow, and the more grounded I am, the more outlandish other people be. So to have more opportunities to be one-on-one with Sean in comedic moments, you can really take advantage of that. And so my favorite scene wasn't really scripted like that, and it's in the trailer, so I'm not giving anything away, but it's when he walks up and sees us all for the first time, and thinks that we've ditched him, but then he kind of is says that whatever about my beard.
Okay.
Is that hey Kev, is that a vagina on your face or whatever? But in the script, he just pointed and said vagina, and then we just started taking it to new levels each take. So first thing he changed it to pussy, and then it was we would kind of get off to the side and talk about what we could do to surprise the other actors and the crew and the directors. So then it was pretty much the next take. It was hey man, touch the beard, it'll be funny. You can play with it or whatever. And then he did that, and I was like, all right, I'll go, come on. And when I say come on, stick your fingers in my mouth.
That's awesome.
And then it was okay, well, look, if we're going to do that, because people, just lost it on the set. And so I was like, well, if we're going to do that, I mean, you have to smell your fingers after. Which took, 2 or 3 takes of goading Sean to do. I'm because we would do one, and I'd be like, Sean, and he'd be like, what? I'm like, you didn't smell your fingers. He's like, oh, I forgot. And then but, no one can really, even though we came up with the ideas together, I couldn't have really imagined or even done it myself, how he would actually, do those, the way that it's it's, that he performs, you know what I mean, as Stifler.
Amazing.
Because the way he looks at me and smells his fingers and goes, nice. I didn't direct him how to do it. It was just smell your fingers. I know you'll do something funny.
Amazing. All right.
That was definitely the most Stifler moment, I think. That was awesome. It was fun creating that.
Well, it was, that was just sort of the fun of working with people that I had so much history with. That we never really had the opportunity to play around like that on the first film because we all didn't really know each other, and and the characters were brand new. And then each subsequent film, we've just become more comfortable, owned the characters a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know a lot of people are probably asking you this already, and you might not even have an answer for it, but will there be a next one? Will there be a number 5?
I would say that I never thought there would be a second, let alone a fourth. So anything's possible. There's nothing that I know of that's in the works or anything like that. We've never known until we get the call from Universal. So I'll answer your question just by saying that if Universal decided that they wanted to do another one, whatever it is that needs to, whatever decision-making process they have, if that call came, I would be down.
Awesome.
I've always been down.
So let's say they do make another one. What kind of situation would you like to see in it? One thing I liked about this movie was even the humor, even the comedy grew with the characters. It seemed like it was a little bit more mature. So what kind of situations would you like to, see your character in the next time around?
Man, I don't know. Luckily, I don't have to come up with that stuff. I just have to say whether or not I like it. For the most part, I've never really had any issues with the stuff that everyone's come up with for Kevin. I think it's pretty straightforward. You kind of just, follow the life of any one of your normal friends, and that's where Kevin will be next.
Yeah.
And somehow he'll get into some sort of trouble hanging out with his friends.
I'm sure you have a kid probably along the way, too.
Yeah, I'm sure that's, in Kevin's future.
All right, now I was mentioning a little bit about your musical career. You mentioned earlier about your song being on the soundtrack. Was it easy to get on there, or did you just say, hey, can you put the song on there, or did they approach you about it?
It was the type of thing where I wish it was that easy because I would have had one on the first American Pie. In fact, I tried to get a song on the soundtrack of all the movies, so it definitely wasn't an easy task. Otherwise, I would have achieved it a long time ago. What basically happened this time around is the live show. I played the rap party for the cast and the crew, which I had never done before, and it wasn't like I did it in an effort to pitch anybody. I just had a good time. This is the first time we shot on location, so I thought, oh man, this will be fun if I do this. And it'll be something that I can give to the crew, entertain the cast and crew on the last day. And the directors, as I finished my set of playing for an hour, and everyone had a blast, and I went to the bar to get a drink, and one of the directors came up. He's like, "Dude, we have to put a song of yours in the soundtrack." So that's sort of how it transpired.
That's awesome. Too bad it's not in the film, but it's awesome.
It's in the film, just really low, I think.
Oh, okay.
But it's on the soundtrack album, which I think is way cooler than being a more audible cue in the film. You know what I mean?
There are so many songs they played in it. That's one. It didn't drive me crazy, but it seemed like every 2 seconds there was a new song playing in the background.
But the thing is that if you only get the song in the actual film, you're not really getting the whole song. You're getting a riff.
Exactly.
Or riff, repeat, you're out. So, like I said, being on the soundtrack, I didn't even know I was going to end up on the soundtrack album. I thought I would just be in the film.
Okay.
So I was stoked when I found out.
Awesome. Now, would you mind if we close the podcast with just maybe 30 seconds of it?
Yeah, man. You have a copy of the track, yeah?
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, it's called My Generation, and that would be killer, dude.
Okay, yeah. So in a few minutes, I won't play it now, of course, 'cause I'm not on my computer, but I'll edit it into it at the end. So that'd be awesome. All right. So Brandon, did you want to take over with some of the Twitter questions?
Yeah. So we talked about this a little bit, but I want to give some credit to our Twitter followers. So this one comes from at Tinband and I believe
that's Thomas's. That's Thomas's Twitter.
I didn't ask myself any questions. I'm not that schizophrenic.
I was about to say.
But I am narcissistic, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. This one comes from one of our followers, Cindy Wish, or it's at Cindy's Wish 8, and that is, who is most like their character in that in real life? Who's most like the character that they play?
You know, some people might disagree with me, but I'm going to go with Chris Klein on this one.
Okay.
Yep, I could definitely
I
see
can
that.
see that, too,
First
yeah.
movie, I really thought that was just the person, that he was just playing all to his own character. Now, this movie, I think he actually dug a lot more. I mean, I was really, really impressed with
I was
how
too.
far he's come, but I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
I loved his character in this movie, by the way.
Yeah, no, I think that, you know, there's a lot of callback in this film, I think, to the first one. If you really want to get, like, movie maniac on it. But just, you know, obviously,
yeah, that's so true.
like, you know, he does the choir thing in the first one, and runs away from lacrosse, and then he's a sportscaster, and, you know, has the Dancing with the Stars type of, you know, spoof thing, and then, you know, runs away from all that for the girl, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, it's true.
There's a lot of parallels, I should say.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. The same thing with Kevin and Pete.
Yeah, no, there's scenes in there where we would, like, do a scene, and it was like, wait, is each of these lines a callback to one of our other scenes? You know, there'd be, like, a scene, and it'd be like, there's 4 transitional moments in this scene, and each one refers to a different Kevin and Vicky moment from American Pie 1.
It's exactly how it felt, too. That's part of why it's such an excellent job that they did. You guys did on everything.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of where, like, I think it is kind of the last slice, because where do you go from here? Other than, like, Stifler's mom marries Jim's dad, and then Stifler and Jim become brothers.
Yeah, it's true. That is very true. I can see that definitely being one of the main plots.
Finch becomes Stifler's dad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Finch gets back in the mix, marries Stifler's mom, and then becomes Stifler's dad.
That would be Jim's stepbrother, ex-stepbrother.
Oh my god, you guys are blowing my mind right now.
Daytime drama into it.
Somebody's twin brother comes about, an evil twin brother, and yep. All right, what's the next Twitter question?
You're just getting crazy with the evil twin. All right, so the next one's from AJC204.
I like this question, by the way.
And that one is a hilarious question. And probably the one that most people want to know, to be perfectly honest. Was that actually Jason Biggs' swong behind the pot lid?
And the answer is yes.
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
I think that's the only reason Jason signed on to do the movie.
It might very well be based on your description.
Read his Twitter page, I'm telling you.
I'm gonna add him as a friend tonight.
I was actually checking it out right after you said that.
Now, don't tell me you were on set when they were filming that scene, though.
No.
Okay, good.
No, but you know, it doesn't take much to get Jason to show anybody his penis.
Okay, good to know. All your ladies out there, it's good to know.
That would be the big joke, actually, is we'd go and introduce the film in different countries, and he'd be like, "You guys excited to see my dick?" And everyone would cheer, and he'd be like, "Okay, well, I'll show you right now." But he wouldn't.
Yeah, of course. You gotta see it in the movie.
Yeah. I thought about daring him to do it, but then I knew that if I dared him to do it, he would do it, and then you would get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, what's the next Twitter question?
All right, so the next one, I believe, is the last Twitter question that we're going to go through, is from @Chrissy Rose, and that one is: did you make it feel youthful, or did it make you feel youthful getting together again, or did it make you feel older? And it's the same age person, much like Tim.
Yeah, it was a weird thing because, you know, it felt like no time had passed, and like we, as a group of people, we all have these like friends in our lives where when you don't see them for a while and then you see them again, it feels like you just pick up right where you left off, and that's how this group feels. So it definitely reminded me, like, we together would have, like, fond memories of, filming different scenes or, different times that we hung out, away from set, or all these different things that, would come into our minds that we would talk about. So it was definitely a reunion for us and very nostalgic. And, the other part of it is we've always played our own age. So, everyone keeps saying, like, wow, you guys look so good for your 10-year, reunion. You guys have aged really well. And it's like, that's because, thanks to shows like Beverly Hills 90210 back in the day, we would just now be old enough to play high school. So, if that were the case, we'd be, like, doing our 10-year high school reunion when we're, like, 40 to 45, and then we wouldn't look good. So I definitely feel youthful, not old. Although I am a dad, so I guess I am old. I don't know.
Yep, you're getting there, man. If you need any parenting tips, let me know.
Is really where you go from, child number 3 is where you're old.
Hey.
I think he's taking a dig at you, Tim.
I think so. Hey.
That's
I know where you live, buddy.
So,
that's what, and when you've done 3 interviews also as well, that's what happened.
Yep.
So I actually just wanted to move one in there. Since you mentioned earlier that you started acting when you were 6, I have to admit, one of my favorite movies all time, top 10, Rookie of the Year.
Right on.
So a couple of years ago, you did the first pitch for a Cubs game. And I have to say, what kind of nostalgic feelings did you have then?
Oh, that was great, man. To be back on Wrigley Field. It's sort of my plan to do it every couple of years just because it's really fun to, be back out there and the Cubs fans are, they remember the film and, they really dig Henry Rowengartner since that's the last time they won the World Series. So, I did it in 2008 and 2010, so I'm hoping to go back this summer again and
nice.
Throw out the first pitch and sing the 7th inning stretch again.
That'd be awesome.
It was kind of a trip. I remember the first time when I went in 2008, I was, like, ordering a beer at one of the stands there, and, like, someone was next to me, and they're like, wait a second, aren't you? No. Yeah, you are. Oh, my gosh. So it was kind of funny.
All right, Brandon, anything else?
No, I just really wanted to ask the Rookie of the Year.
You had to throw in a Rookie of the Year question, didn't you?
I did.
It's all good. I thought when I did Rookie of the Year that, who knew American Pie would happen. So I thought I'd be, like, now, 31, and that would be, like, my biggest claim to fame. You probably wouldn't want to interview me then. So now it's cool because I have, the American Pie franchise. Now, like, we can throw this call back to Rookie of the Year.
Exactly.
And I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. Well, and I was really glad that you were the cup at the end of American Reunion as well, because if you're not going to jump on the top of a couch, you got to make it. Yeah.
Well, all
No
right,
doubt.
all right, Thomas. That's all we've had for this evening. Do you have any closing words? Your Twitter account? Anything else you want to plug?
No, but just make sure I saw you tagged me when you asked for questions anyway.
Yep, I'm
Tag
already
me
following
when
you.
you guys post the interview, and I'll retweet it for you.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Amazing. Yeah, so, Thomas, thanks again for the third interview. Well, I know so I won't do it again, but I definitely want to do it again sometime soon. So.
All right, well, we can maybe do it again before, like, 13 years from now.
Yeah, that sounds good. We don't want to push too many.
Right on, man.
All right,
thank
man.
you so much for taking the time to talk to me again, Tim.
Yeah, everybody listening, go check out American Reunion. It's still in theaters now. It came out, about a month ago already? Maybe 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks, I think.
Yeah,
I think we're coming up on week 4 right now.
Still in theaters. It's still going. It's pretty strong, actually, so go check it out. It is amazing.
Yeah, we're doing pretty well worldwide. We still haven't even opened up in a few markets. So,
Awesome.
I think we're well over the 100 mil mark worldwide. So
Nice. All right, man. It was great talking to you again.
Thanks to everyone seeing the film, and if the film does well enough, I wouldn't be surprised if I get that call.
And hope you do.
Cool, man.
All right, man. See ya.
All right, later.
I'm sick of listening to my boss telling me how I am always late and how he wants to fire me. Don't wanna hear about how I need to change my ways.
It's the Rock Bottom Podcast.
My name is Tim.
I'm Jesse.
And I'm Brandon.
Featuring celebrity interviews.
Hi, everybody. This is Dolph Lundgren. Hope you enjoy the Rock Bottom Podcast. This is Daddy Trejo, and you're listening to the Rock Bottom Podcast. This is Pauly Shore, and you are listening to the Rock Bottom Podcast, the best podcast of all the casts that are being potted.
Movie reviews, video game reviews, and much, much more. Visit them online at hitrockbottom.org.